Welcome to the Final Family Podcast, where we talk about all of this week's nerdiest news. I'm Matt Castle.
And I'm Jessica Castle.
All right, and so our first topic of conversation will be Windows 10. It finally got a release date, and it's actually next month. July 29th, Windows 10 will be available for free to all peoples who have...
Which I'm very surprised.
Yeah. Well, I'm not super surprised.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted your thought.
It will be free to all people who have Windows 7 and 8. Thank God.
Even pirated versions.
Even pirated versions, that's right. And we will all have the great luxury of being able to stream our Xbox One to our PC. I'm not really sure why you would want to do that, but...
Does it have to do with, like, recording gameplay, maybe? Is that...
Maybe, I don't know.
We're not an Xbox family, we have no idea how this works.
Yeah.
That just seems...
But you can bet dimes and dollars that you'll have to have an Xbox Live account for it.
Oh, yeah. I love that in the press release it's like, hey, you get your start menu back.
Yeah,
that's a feature.
Yeah.
The start menu is a feature. That's ridiculous to me.
I'm personally planning on upgrading to Windows 7 on my machine here.
Windows 7?
Well, it would be an upgrade regardless. I'm currently running Windows 8.1, which is a horrible piece of shit. So yeah, I'm going to take advantage of the free upgrade.
What happened to Windows 9? Did they really go from 8 to 10?
Yes, they did.
Why?
I assume that it's their whole, like, they're doing, like, the whole renumbering thing where it's Xbox One, which is not really Xbox One.
9 is a bad luck number. Like, for...
It's spooky. It's a spooky number. 9.
That's weird. Anyway, I just now noticed that. I'm sorry. I derailed.
I think that I do think that it's got to do with like a round number kind of thing. Okay. So you have Xbox One, which is not Xbox One. It's actually Xbox 4.
Yeah.
Whatever. Or 3. Because there was Xbox and the 360. Now this one.
Yeah. Still weird. Windows doing weird stuff to try and stay relevant.
Yeah. I don't know. Their numbering is way off. Like, I have no idea what the hell they're going for at this point. But then again, we started at Windows 3.0, so
that's true.
In television news, apparently George R.R. Martin will not be writing any episodes in season 6, much like in season 5. To focus on finishing the 6th book, which other reports have said that he's planning on finishing before the 6th series is up.
Yeah.
Or the 6th season is up, rather.
Yeah.
So I don't know
before it premieres. But my thought is, like, he will finish writing, and then we'll go through the editing process.
Or two
and then we'll
editing.
Go through the publication process. So
I wouldn't expect to see another book for like 3 years.
No.
He's going to die.
Honestly.
He's going to die.
No, he's not. Honestly... I would not be surprised if he waited to publish them until the TV show was over. I would not hold it against him at all, because it's one of those things that, like...
At this point, it's going to be such a conflict, and you're going to you're going to pollute it one way or the other, so to speak. That's the best word I can come up with. You're going to come into it with a certain mindset from one or the other thing.
Yeah. And, like, the TV show is starting to break away from that by doing its own thing.
It's horribly broken away from the whole basis of the books.
But they cut out the pirates. Pirates.
No more Greyjoys. Well, except for the one. We don't really like him either.
So, like, it's kind of already doing its thing.
Yeah.
So I could see him wanting to, like, wait and do,
You know what would be great is if he just kept writing. It's supposed to be like an 8-book series. If he just kept writing, he wrote 6, 7, and 8 all kind of at the same time. And then
publish them back to back.
And then just publish them over the course of 3 years. Like, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, that would be.
It's not going to happen that way. But it would be fabulous.
Probably not. But just remember,
But please, Mr. Martin, please.
Hey,
take your time.
There we go.
And write the fucking books right. Yeah. Just please don't die.
Yeah,
and if you do die, make sure you leave lots of extensive notes like Robert Jordan did before you.
In the wise words, if I'll eventually get it out, of Neil Gaiman, George R.R. Martin is not our bitch.
He's
that we can't
not.
we can't crack the whip and say, he's got to do it on his own time.
Technically,
and I'm okay to wait.
If he wants our money, he is our bitch, sorta. At least a little bit.
I think he's probably okay by now.
Yeah. We'll see.
I think he's probably financially set.
So anyway, speaking of Game of Thrones, we actually do watch that show.
We do.
We haven't really been covering it because, Flash and Arrow have been way better. Like, way better.
Yeah, I haven't been really taken by this season of Game of Thrones.
It's been kind of a crap season. Yeah. I think both Jessica and I kind of landed on the meh. Yeah, and then we got the Sansa rape scene, and we both felt really disappointed in that whole thing and how that was done.
And let me back up. Back up and talk about Sansa, because we haven't talked about Sansa. I feel like the internet has probably it's at its threshold of Sansa, but I haven't said my 2 cents, so I want to say it, damn it. And what I'm about to say is going to sound extremely callous.
She is callous. Jessica's callous. She's super callous.
Cold-hearted. People don't realize it.
I am the endearing parent that the children come to for comfort.
That's me. Pick yourself up and stop crying. You're okay. That's kind of how I am. Yeah. Unless they're actually hurt, then I do comfort them.
Whatever.
Anyway, there's no other way to say it. I am not upset by the fact that Sansa got raped.
No. Frankly, I'm surprised it happened sooner.
I really am surprised. It is not the fact that Sansa was raped. A lot of people hate Sansa. The longer the books and the longer the show has gone on, I have grown to love Sansa. I love Sansa. I want her to become Queen of the North and just lay waste and, take her land back and,
Well, they've missed that fucking boat.
I know they have, but I want her to become Queen of the North. I do.
But she can't now. She knows her brothers are alive.
She still can fucking become Queen of the North.
I suppose.
Bran's a fucking tree. The other kid that I don't even know his name is who knows where.
Spoilers. I didn't know he was a damn tree.
Yes, you did.
Anyway.
I mean, he's not a tree.
Anyway.
He's studying with the tree guy.
Anyway.
You know that.
Yes, dear.
You do. You know that. We saw it fucking last season.
I suppose.
If it was in last season's show, it's not a fucking spoiler.
Okay.
Still
feel spoiled a little bit.
He's not actually a tree. He's just studying with the tree guy. Okay. He's becoming a tree.
Okay.
He's a sapling.
Anyway. Whatever.
Anyway. Bran's the training to be a three-eyed crow. There you go.
There you go.
That? Okay.
Rickon is off wherever with a wildling.
See, I couldn't even think of his name. That's how far removed he is. Okay, anyway. So it's not that Sansa got raped, even though I love Sansa. It is because it was poor storytelling. That, in my book, poor storytelling is worse than, doing...
all the rapes.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, all the fictional rapes. Yeah. Real rape is horrible and abhorrent, and we shouldn't abide by it at all.
Because it's not a story. Fiction is another thing.
I want to be clear. I want to be 100% clear. No rape here.
But it's poor storytelling because so far we've seen Sansa go from this... doe-eyed, innocent I love Joffrey.
I love Justin Bieber.
Yeah. This child, this just absolute child, and in a very short time span has grown into a woman.
Yeah.
She has done what needed to be done. She very easily could have ratted out Littlefinger about the death of her aunt, and I'm pretty sure the Knights of the Eyrie would have sided with her.
Yeah.
But she knew at that point in time that's not going to be the safest option for her, you know, because she's going to wind up being married to Robin, and he's going to push her through the fucking moon door, you know, because he wants to see her fly. You know, she's learning survival. She's learning how to play the game, becoming friends with Marjorie and the Queen of Thorns. You know, she's, you know, even seeing Cersei and having that interaction with Cersei every bit of the way, she's having her naivete stripped away, and she's learning.
Picking stuff up. She's becoming a grown-up.
Stuff up. And
a horrible grown-up, but a grown-up nonetheless.
And to then have her, and I mean,
it just boils her down to a victim again. It sets back all of the work that they did through the last 2 seasons of building her up as an adult character that is interesting, and puts her right back where she was towards the end of the 2nd season when Joffrey goes nutty.
The thing is, like I said, it's not that she was actually raped, because Ramsay is not the kind of dude to wait for consent.
No,
just not. He's not. He flays human beings alive. He's not going to care about rape.
He fucked up. We get it.
But the scene was filmed in a way that it was not about Sansa. It was about Theon crying in the corner.
Right.
So the actual act, that bothered me. That it was all about Theon and not Sansa. And it was about Ramsay too. It was only about the men. There's rape in a show that's literally only about men. Like, of the things that you could think is possible, I would think that would be very difficult, but they managed to do it quite well. Or poorly, whatever. I didn't like it. So, And then what has bothered me the most is in the next episode, she's like, Theon, help me, Theon, save me, go light this candle.
That makes her extra stupid. Like,
Sansa at this point is Sansa as they have written her. This is where the bad storytelling comes in. If she was still that naive little girl who, you know, thought love conquered all, and some man was going to come and save her, you know, she turned Brienne down. There was her literally a knight in effing shining armor. May have been a girl.
It's kind of black and dingy.
Okay.
I mean,
may have been a woman, but there is a knight in armor saying she's going to protect you, and she turns it down because she knows that's not actually going to help me here.
I just had the greatest idea for what they could do with Brienne. I really kind of hope they do now. Yeah. Like, I hope that Brienne joins the Night's Watch. That would be awesome. In the sight of the Valyrian steel sword, that's what made me go there.
That's true.
So in the last episode, we discovered that Valyrian steel acts much like dragon glass and can fend off and kill a White Walker.
Yeah.
Brienne has Oathkeeper.
And that would most assuredly
protect
Caitlyn's daughters. It would uphold her vow.
Yeah, but she's she'd be so in line with Jon Snow. Duty driven, do what's right regardless of how you feel. I
don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think so either. It'd be too good.
Yeah.
It'd be like the 2 characters I like the most. In the same place, and we know that's not going to happen.
Shows up,
and then Tyrion,
hey, how you doing?
Tyrion and Arya show up, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to fuck this shit up. We're gonna win this today." Yeah. Season 6, boom.
But
challenge laid.
There you go. But Sansa, as they have written her, is not that girl that would go crying to Theon, go crying to the most pathetic being in the,
rhymes with weak.
Yeah, rhymes with weak. Rhymes with meek. What all does he say?
He says lots of things that actually doesn't rhyme with, but
because he's lost his mind. And so that, more than the rape scene itself, which put a bad taste in my mouth, but they could have come back from.
I feel like rape rape is an integral part of Game of Thrones. Yes. Also, it's fucking lazy when it comes, we're going to talk about this more later. Yeah. It's just, I feel like it's just such a played out fucking lazy trope that you can't possibly explore enough.
Yeah.
To do it justice. And, the mental and emotional scarring from an individual, on the part of the victim, and the clear fucking craziness of the person who is the perpetrator. Like, I mean, you can't possibly cover the depth of such a crime in an hour show. Yeah. You just can't.
It needs to be a story arc if you're going to do it any justice.
And I mean, I don't know. It just feels lazy. It feels super lazy at this point. Like, oh, we're going to do violence to women? Yep, I'm going to rape them.
Yeah. Like I said, I can almost forgive Game of Thrones because of the nature of the beast.
It's a tough world, especially for women.
Yeah. And that's kind of part of the storyline. Let's talk about Cersei, because like you have women like Cersei and Brienne. We've already mentioned Brienne. You know, these are the options of power that you have as a woman. You can be miserable, as Brienne is, because you're fighting every day against these, you know, these
stereotypes,
gender norms and stereotypes. And, you know, her, like, every man that comes in contact with Brienne is like, well, I'm gonna fuck some sense into
Not
you.
Every man.
Every bad guy.
Pod is a good man.
Pod's a very good man.
Pod's the only man.
There you go.
Pod and Jamie.
Cersei, or you can scheme and sleep with your hired assassin cousins, and you know, in the book it's much worse for Cersei because like that's the only she can only use her body at, you know, like she gets men to sleep with her because she's the queen, and then can, you know,
can
hold
use
some sway over them. Like these are the power options available. Or you can be Melisandre and have like demon babies, you know, and like
also
and want to burn little girl. Yeah.
I mean, really, like that's her thing. That's her in. That's the way they painted her in the show. Is I'm a spooky spiritual person. I'll let you fuck me, and we'll be powerful together.
In the world of Game of Thrones, the women who have the most inherent power are the wildlings and the sand snakes.
Right.
You know, the sand snakes because they have royal blood in them and they can basically just kind of do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And the wildlings because it's such a fucking brutal place. Everyone has to be able to kick ass.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, I feel like,
so in the world it makes sense, but the storytellers then need to, I feel like, since this is a type of act that you're never going to escape in a world like Game of Thrones, I think the storytellers need to be even that much more sensitive to how it's being handled, because we're going to see it over and over and over again.
Right. I mean, and as far as Sansa goes, like, I think they missed a huge opportunity to make her such a powerful, like, meaningful character, but apparently that's not in the cards.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
what else happened? The big zombie white fight.
It was.
I have to say, this past episode,
Game of the Dead.
Yes, this past episode, first episode that I did not play my Japanese cat game while watching. Like, this is the first episode of this season.
That was actually interesting. It's been basically the first good episode this season, period.
Yeah, we have both been very meh about it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just, I feel like the pacing is very slow.
Yeah.
Both as far as like storylines have gone, as well as, oddly, I feel like they're filming each scene slower, so there's less, you know, punch and urgency. And
we're getting more establishing shots.
We're getting
long,
drawn
reaction
out, reaction shots, and just like, and I felt like they actually pulled away from that in this last episode. There was, you know, each scene is, you know, the dialogue is delivered in a, you know, almost curt way, right? Like, because everybody's kind of in distress at this point, and the action scenes are, you know, good and shot well as ever. Like, they're not. So, like, okay, the two high points of this last episode were Tyrion and Daenerys having their conversation, which was fucking awesome. Like, holy shit. Peter Dinklage, man, like, he's like the saving grace of this damn show. Like, he's just so damn good. It is unbelievable. You know?
They better hope he never, like, wants to leave the show.
I'm sure they've got him on contract for the rest of it.
For the duration.
And like the actor, I don't know who the actress name. I don't know the actress name for Daenerys, unfortunately, but she did a wonderful job too. Like, she's clearly listening to him. She's taking his advice. It could be a very tenuous conversation, and it goes from that to clearly, kind of a.
We kind of understand each other.
Not friendly, but they understand that they come from similar backgrounds. Yeah. They're effectively orphaned. They come from horrible people. Even we're horrible people that come from horrible people. Yeah. And they come to this great understanding where, they can lean on each other, and maybe they can actually make a difference. Yeah. Because they do both want to make a difference. Yeah. And they're the only people that care about the world. Yeah. Varys. Literally. Varys
cares about the little people.
Who at this point I'm convinced is probably dead.
No, I want Varys to come back. I want Varys to I want Tyrion and Varys to be her two main advisors. Yeah. Because I think that would be awesome.
Part of me really kind of wants her to forgive Jorah.
Nah. He's got fucking grayscale.
Can't have he's him gonna die, I suppose.
He's gonna infect all the fighters and all the people that are feeding the slaves, and he's gonna fuck shit up for her.
Yeah, probably.
'Cause he's an asshole.
He's a well-meaning asshole.
He's
a bit selfish.
He's the good guy trademark. Trademark. Good guy.
He's friend-zoned.
No, because friend-zoned isn't a fucking thing.
I know, but I'm saying that's how they're painting it. To me, the traditional friend zone thing, where he's
You don't get what I'm saying.
Huh?
When I say trademark good guy, he's the kind of guy that thinks there's such a thing as friend zone.
Well, yeah,
friend zone isn't a zone.
No.
Friend zone is you just being a friend.
Yes, I understand. That's what I'm saying too. I'm just not saying it in a good way.
Yeah. Okay.
I do not say things in the way that I say them. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, he's a good guy who is trying to impose his version of good on her, which is not cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Part of me really wants him to be redeemed and actually be a good guy.
I think he's too far gone to be redeemed at this point.
I think I don't know about far gone. I think Tyrion has the best point. You can't have him next to you and be taken seriously.
Well, that's what I mean by far gone. He is past the point where he will ever be helpful to Dany.
Right.
He is too far in this because I'm not even going to call it love, because I don't think it's love. Because if you had a highly contagious disease that would kill me, you would not be take me back and let me live in your house. You wouldn't do that.
I don't know. Yes, dear.
Okay. He's too far gone in his obsession to ever do Dany any good.
And so the next best scene after that was the last 20 minutes of the damn thing. Yeah, it was I don't know. I think I'm going to call it better than the Battle of Blackwater. Then again, I have a huge affinity for zombie and zombie-esque things.
Well, my problem with the Battle of the Blackwater is we didn't get to see as much as I wanted to see because of budget.
Yeah.
This, they
you can only burn so many ships.
Yeah.
I
this,
suppose.
they kind of pulled out all the...
Yeah.
And I have to say, the final... Okay, two things I loved about the battle.
The scene is actually Jon Snow finally making it to Hardhome and trying to convince the wildlings
I'm assuming everyone knows what we're talking about.
It aired yesterday.
True.
He finally gets to Hardhome. He's talking to the wildlings. They're all, half of them decide they're coming. You almost have a cool female wildling lead again.
She was one of my two favorite things. She's one of my two favorite things.
Yeah.
I don't even know her name.
I don't think she got a name. I don't think she
didn't get to know much about her, but I loved her.
She had two daughters, and she was protect my daughters or else I'll come and fucking kick your ass, dude. And I mean, I think the writers could tell that you get emotionally attached to her, right off the bat. She's one of the elders for the wildlings and actually represents a small part of the clan.
And is badass.
And is a total badass in the fight.
Yeah.
So after all the discussion and they're all loading up the boats, the whites and the White Walkers start storming the castle or whatever, whatever it is, the big log wall.
And then just kind of lay waste to
and just kind of lay waste to everything.
Is frantically trying to get to the boats to escape.
So like there were points where I felt like this was the battle scene from the end of Army of Darkness, because like there were instances where like someone would cut a skeleton in half and he would just explode into parts and like fly across the damn thing. It was like, okay, that was a little comical, but you know. But so the scene finishes up with the giant wave of whites just jumping off a damn cliff, and it's like this big fucking middle finger from the White Walkers.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't have to care.
Yeah,
we don't
have to be careful.
We don't have to be careful with our troops. They'll get the fuck back up. It doesn't matter.
I have to say, I loved the fact. And this is kind of tied in with the second thing I loved. I loved the fact that the White Walkers did not really do much. They just kind of stood there. They were just like, we don't have to. They didn't make that weird screechy sound from the first view of them. Like, they didn't make a sound. We had one. We had one actually take part in the battle,
like one lieutenant kind of guy.
Lieutenant. But they were just kind of. And at the end, when John finally decides, no, I really do need to leave because there's no coming back from this.
It's time to get the fuck out.
Yeah, the Night's King just raises his arm.
He's like, come at me, bro. I saw the greatest meme today. Come at me, Snow. And I was like, yes, that.
But it was kind of like him saying thanks for the army. Yeah, and
he rezzes all the people. I'm sorry, rezzes.
That's okay. and just everyone just comes back to life, and they have doubled their army size. And it had they took that lingering shot on the female elder that we all like so much. Like, that's how much the filmers and writers she got emotionally attached enough in one segment that they lingered on her coming back too. As a symbol of some lost hope. And I have to say, I thought they did the giant really good. Like, I don't think I've heard anybody talk about that. The giant looked super good. He did.
Holy shit!
Really good.
Like, he looked like he just looked like a giant ass dwarf, which is exactly what giants look like in my head. I don't but kind of a big broad head with a big nose, and he's got a big receding hairline like me, and big beardy fucking big guy, like, but just fucking big. Like, that is what I wanted in a giant. Like, big dwarf, which doesn't make any sense. But that's what I like. Like a WoW dwarf, or like a like a fucking Narnia dwarf, but giant. Yeah, I like that. Like, I don't know. In my mind, like, giants always end up looking cyclopsy.
Do you want to hear something funny that you may have forgotten?
Oh God.
Do you remember who was a dwarf in Narnia?
Yeah, Wicket.
Peter Dinklage.
Oh, son of a bitch, he was.
He was.
I didn't even think about it.
So you want a giant Tyrion?
Yes, I do. I want a giant Tyrion. Making his dick even bigger, right?
There you go. But like,
I do have to say that was one of my favorite scenes in the previous episode. I'm sorry, I'm like completely off track.
Like,
you
have to bring the whole.
Tyrion's like, you have to bring me, and then he's like, why would I bring you? And he beats the shit out of the slaver guy. Holy crap, that was hilarious.
That was good stuff. Did you hear the guy go like, no, stop? That was pretty awesome. I was really surprised. There's only 2 more episodes left.
Yeah, I thought they went with a 13 episode run usually.
I don't remember reading that.
I guess they just couldn't.
They blew all their money on this last episode.
I'm a terrible person. I'm like, they couldn't bring themselves to write any more original material than what they've already written. So
they're like, let's give George a little bit more time to catch up.
maybe we can read an early script of that, George. Yeah. Hey, George, your boy.
But book spoilers, jump ahead to the next section. Like,
I'm not going to be spared. I haven't finished either.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to spoil. Like, so they're going to have to do Cersei's walk, which I think is in the Did we just watch episode 9?
Yes.
Okay. That'll be in the next...
Yes.
Yes, I think we did.
Yes, I don't know.
That'll be in the next episode. It has to be.
Well, yeah.
And I'm mostly basing this on the fact that next episode is called Mother's Mercy, which the Sparrow talked about. Like, if you confess, you get the Mother's Mercy.
Well, also, like, it's the second to last episode, and that's how Game of Thrones runs. The second to last episode is always the best episode.
So we're going to see Cersei's Walk of Shame, which I feel like is going to suffer so much by not being in Cersei's head. I don't know how they're going to get it across, because in the book it's like this moment where she like starts out in absolute terror and fear and shame, and then by the end of it she's like, fuck these fuckers, I'm gonna be Cersei. This is
how much emotional impact that is actually this scene has had on me. I actually have read this bit and
you don't
didn't even remember it happening.
I love seeing.
I was just so happy. I was just so happy that Cersei got in prison that I think I just stopped paying attention after that.
See, I love the nuance in Cersei. I think she's an awful human being, but she's a wonderfully drawn character. And I love her nuance. So I enjoy her chapters.
I just like characters I like. I can't appreciate. I'm not that nuanced person. Like Like in anything I read, I'm reading for, like, 95% of my read is for the plot. Like, I am super happy to read just total brain rot garbage fantasy. Like, I mean, like the Dragonlance books. That is some good, tasty brain rot for me. I've read them damn all, dude.
I can't remember past one.
And I don't care for really, like, I don't really care about, like, any of the characters in that damn book. None of them. Like, Flint and Sturm are like it.
And I can't read a book.
I don't even just like, I don't
care about the characters.
And I don't have to care about the characters.
I don't even have
to. In fact, most of the time, less characterization is better for me.
Yeah. See, and I'm the opposite, because, like, absolutely nothing can happen in a book, but if I enjoy the way the characters are written, I'm good.
Yeah.
I have read books where basically nothing has happened, but I still very much enjoyed, because I enjoyed the characters.
I won't say it's impossible for me. I mean, I've read some classics, things like Jane Eyre and, basically any Jane Austen anything. It's all very character driven and not super, I mean, there's plot, but it's the plot of relationships effectively, and that's it, which is effectively characterization too. And I can appreciate those things in that context, but there is a different type of reading that I'm doing when I'm reading a fantasy novel. I don't want to care. I think I know where the end of the season is going, and you don't know, because you have not gotten to this point in the books. And I am waiting with bated breath to see the internet lose their shit. Just completely. Like, you thought the Red Wedding was bad. You thought the Viper getting his head smushed was bad. If what I think is going to happen is going to happen, we're going to see the internet explode. There have been grumblings of Stoneheart.
I don't think they're doing Stoneheart. I think they're cutting that plot line completely.
I don't know. It would be interesting. It would be an interesting, like,
which means to me, if Martin is smart, I know he's smart. That was very insulting to say. I'm sorry, Martin. Please don't stop writing because of me.
Also, totally keep watching our podcast. Like, fucking
because
we'll cover your shit more. Totally.
Because you make me think of my dad with your Greek fishing cap. That goofy hat he wears all the time. That's why he watches our podcast, because he knows.
His mother has never worn those hats.
He does.
Anyway.
He had one at one point in time. He has not worn it since you have known him. But at one point in time, he had one of those goofy hats. And I made fun of him every time he wore it, which is probably why he stopped wearing it.
Literally hasn't worn it in 13 years. 14 years.
But anyway, I think that's going to wind up being really important in the long run, or at least majorly important, because everyone's like, well, if they've cut Lady Stoneheart out, then she must not be important. And I think that's not giving him enough credit.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like bringing Kat back as Lady Stoneheart is a big deal.
It's like she's a sentient white. I feel like she's kind of like
she's
gonna be some kind of something there. I don't know.
I really do. I feel like something. Anyway.
So what are we gonna watch this summer?
Okay.
We've totally been talking about what the hell we're gonna put in the TV section, especially since Game of Thrones is gonna end in 2 weeks too.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna watch the rest of the summer, dear?
Well, we're gonna. There's a list of more shows than what I'm about to list, but these are some things that that we're either gonna try and watch or wait until it comes on streaming, or But I am very excited. I've been trying to talk Matt into watching it. Internet helped me to talk Matt into watching it.
I've reached my upper threshold for television. Thank you.
Hannibal season 3 starts this week, which I'm so excited about because
you should just do a segment on it. Screw it.
Just do a segment.
You do it.
Okay. I will cover Hannibal because I love Hannibal.
That's Jessica's section, Hannibal Corner.
The Hannibal Corner. And I will go ahead and admit, like, I am a
Hannibal hoedown. Boom. It's Texas. You live in Texas.
Anyway, love Hannibal. Can't wait to see where they're going to go with the show. I'm especially excited, and this actually kind of falls back. They're introducing. Okay, for those of you who are not familiar with the show, because what I'm about to say won't make any sense. Hannibal is a kind of, sort of prequel.
It effectively deals with the Red Dragon storyline, is my general understanding. No?
They're just now getting to the Red Dragon in season 3.
Well, that's what I was reading about.
The Hannibal is about... Oh, crap. What's the psychologist's name? I've forgotten his name, because all I can think about is Hannibal. Anyway, the psychologist in Red Dragon. It's about Hannibal and he... meeting before Hannibal is known as a serial killer.
Right.
In Red Dragon, the novel, and then the 2 movie versions of it.
There were 2?
Yeah, there's one called Manhunter, and then Red Dragon. It references, that the psychologist was severely injured by Hannibal, and that they had used to work together when Hannibal was just a psychiatrist.
Right.
And the show started off at that point and then very quickly delved into alternate universe where the psychologist finds out about Hannibal very early on and is trying to convince everyone, and he knows he's eating people, and like just craziness abounds, like just absolute madness. It is one of the most beautiful shows on TV right now. And what is disturbing is that some of the most beautiful scenes are these mutilated corpses that Hannibal is dealt with. But they are just absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. And then, like, he carves up the people and he
cinematography? Or
yes, it's the cinematography, the art direction. It's just a beautiful and absolutely creepy and terrifying show at the same time. Like, it is amazing. Yeah. It is an amazing show. You need to watch it, Internet, if you're not already. Well, this 3rd season is very interesting because they're delving into the Red Dragon storyline.
Right.
And Brian Fuller, who is the showrunner, who, if you ever watched... Did you ever watch Pushing Daisies?
No.
Okay. It was this very, like, quirky but also very sweet... show.
Hey, Matt, have you ever watched any quirky television whatsoever that your wife has not made you? No.
Okay,
no, I haven't. Not at all.
But anyway.
Don't care to.
So, like, this guy did this, like, quirky, kind of goofy, but also very weird show, and then did Hannibal. Like, those are his 2 big claim to fame. It's very, But in a interview with Entertainment Weekly, which we'll post in the link, he kind of threw his 2 cents in about, like, TV rape and Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones has brought how TV handles rape into modern parlance.
Because it does it every season at least twice.
Yeah. And Brian Fuller, as a showrunner, has said that's the one storyline we're not going to do in Hannibal.
Right.
And I think he has this great quote in it, where he says, the reason the rape well is so frequently used, just it's low-hanging fruit. The rape well is so frequently used is because it's a horrible thing that is real and that happens. But because it's so overexploited, it becomes callous. That's something I can't derive entertainment from as an audience member, and I'm the first person in the audience for Hannibal. My role as a showrunner is to want to watch the show we're creating, and if something feels exploitative or unnecessary, I'll try to avoid it. So what's interesting is Red Dragon, the storyline in the novel, and if you've seen the movies,
right.
he rapes the dead women.
Right.
It's a rape heavy serial killer.
Right.
And so they've kind of tweaked that, and because he's like, he doesn't want, let's see, I'll just read the quote because that's it became a tricky matter of de-emphasizing women being targeted and making more pronounced the crimes against the victim's family as a whole. We didn't want to glorify it. Well, not glorify, because I don't think any of the crime procedural shows actually glorifying rape, but it is certainly explored so frequently that it rarely feels genuine.
Right.
So,
and like I said, I agree. I think it's effectively become a crutch that's just really worn out.
Yeah. And it's a great interview, kind of backs up what we've been saying, and just also like a sneak peek at some of the things coming in Hannibal season 3, which I'm so excited about. And then a new show that I'm excited about. Matt's kind of still about.
I was really into it until I saw who the fucking producer was.
You don't like the Wachowski siblings?
Oh no, this isn't the. I thought this was another one. I'm sorry.
No,
the other one is Wayward Pines. That's
which
what it
already
was.
Started. Sense8 is a whole season, of course, on June 5th on Netflix.
I feel like it looks a little bit like Dark Grim Heroes or something. You know what I mean?
It doesn't really look so dark grim to me. I don't know.
Well, the Wachowskis do grim. I would call the Matrix grim.
I know, but not all of their films are that grim. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to give it a try.
I'll probably watch an episode or two.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. It's one of those things you can pick it up and throw it down whenever, right?
And if nothing else, the fight scene in the trailer looks really
the choreography looks cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Orange is the New Black season 3 on June 12th.
I still have to watch season 2. I actually really loved season 1. I thought it was really had a good pace. It was funny when it needed to be funny. It was serious when it needed to be serious.
Season 2, I think you're going to like even more because Piper becomes less important.
Yeah, I never thought I would say it, but like Jason Biggs did a pretty badass job in that first season. He plays like the ultimate douche.
Yeah, because in my head, Jason Biggs is still like American Pie screwing an apple pie in the kitchen. He's just a goofy dude.
But he transitioned to adult while looking exactly the same.
Yeah, it's weird.
Pretty well.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
I haven't even heard of this next one.
This is one that we will probably have to wait because we do not have cable. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell on June 19th on BBC America. So those of you that have BBC America.
Doctor Strange, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's a. Because
I think that's actually Doctor Strange's first name.
Jonathan?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Anyway,
it's a novel that they are turning into a series.
I want to know that.
You want to know? Okay, well, report back to us. So let us know if you like it. True Detective season 2 on June 21st. This is the one I'm kind of hesitant because I really.
Nope, I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Stephen Vincent Strange.
Yeah. I really do not like. What's his face? What's his name? On True Detective.
Oh, Vince Vaughn. You hate Vince Vaughn. Yeah.
I blocked his name.
I think he's funny or can be funny, but he is kind of a one-note character,
and
generally
that's my
speaking.
thing. Like we were talking about this last night. I was like, I hate Vince Vaughn. I think he's going to be terrible. You were like, well, who would have thought Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey?
I would have thought Woody
awesome.
Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey. I never would have thought. Like, just.
But like the thing is, I've seen them play multiple types of characters, and I've seen them do good jobs.
Up until I never saw Matthew McConaughey play basically anything different from Dazed and Confused until after I saw True Detectives.
Yeah.
So, yeah. In fact, I still haven't seen the two movies of his I want to see the most.
Yeah.
I still have not seen Dallas Buyers Club or Mud, which I want to see both. Actually, I think they're both actually available. I just need to watch them.
Yeah. And then also on June 21st, there's actually 3
I'm not
new
gonna lie to you.
shows.
I'm totally gonna watch this one.
Yeah.
Is Ballers. It's
Ballers.
Basically The Rock as a football
player turned agent.
Yeah. So
and I will watch The Rock in just about anything.
Yeah.
He's a guilty pleasure.
He's hilarious,
actor for me.
dude. He's so funny.
He seems like a fun dude, and he has a smile that can probably be seen from outer space.
Yeah.
Like that man's smile is just
like he's got such great comic timing, and I mean, like, I think his work in wrestling has really kind of proven that, like, just he can be this absurd character, and like basically live it, like
24/7 for several years.
Like I really, and I think
he's acting at its best.
I think he's shown a fair bit of range as far as like playing the straight man in some of his like Disney type movies. Like,
and
I think
San Andreas is apparently like breaking crazy records. Like is
that him in that?
Yeah, that's him in that.
I don't know why I wanted to say Vin Diesel was in that.
It's on the way to become like the 3rd top grossing movie of all time, kind of like
I don't even know what it's about. Oh, it's about it's an earthquake. Yeah. I remember now because I was like, oh, we sighed and rolled our eyes and we were like, another. I thought we got past all the natural disaster movies.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
So you will have options for when Game of Thrones ends. So.
And of course in June we're gonna have the Star Wars Rebels come back, which
that was
super
on the
super excited for that.
Yes.
I'm sure we all remember from several weeks ago Jessica mocking my reaction to.
I really wish I had a video camera.
Clenched my butt cheeks and bounced upside down.
Like you did. You I mean, okay, I don't know about your butt cheeks, but you did.
I did.
You bounced up.
I remember.
Did you? Okay, you bounced up and down, and you did. You squeed. You were like, ah! You did. It was awesome. Because I'm the one that usually has that reaction, and you're like, whatever. It's okay. Show. It's okay. But it was fun to see you get that excited over a TV show.
So I'm still super excited for that show. Like just super excited, so ready. So I think that will do it for us this week. You can reach us through all the normal social media type things. Actually, we even started a subreddit,
which I'm kind of scared of because I've never read it.
Jessica doesn't do the Reddits. I only do like /r/aw and like smartass animals or something like. I can't remember. I look at kitty pictures on Reddit mostly. But as always, you can tweet me at BearMonk1.
And I'm at Cerebral Lunch, or you can use the hashtag #FinalFamily, and we can see if we can finally get it off the ground. Yeah,
I think that's why I was going. I think that's why I went and did the Reddit. Screw the hashtag.
Screw the
Reddit
hashtag.
for life. Of course, comments, likes are always appreciated.
And you can even subscribe to our YouTube channel here and catch up with everything we do.
Just so we're aware, a little bit of a channel update. We're actually going to be moving in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So we will be trying to keep our normal schedule of filming on Monday and having a post up on Tuesday. But only the gods know what shall happen.
The many-faced
God.
God.
Pray to Cthulhu or the many-faced god. Maybe not the many-faced god. He seems like he would assassinate somebody. So Cthulhu or Chupacabra or whatever
the
to get us
pointed star.
No. That's when my other Game of Thrones thing. Nobody accepts the Spanish Inquisition. Like,
okay, and I didn't trust, like, even if I had never read the books, I would not have trusted the High Sparrow because he was the bad guy, and
Everything.
Something Wicked This Way Comes, which is a movie that kind of scarred me as a child, and it's an excellent movie, and you should all find it and watch it because it's terrifying, and it's based on a Ray Bradbury novel.
Hopefully we keep our regular schedule. Hopefully we actually get out a little bit of extra content. I've been playing The Witcher 3. I think I'm about 3 to 4 hours in. I think I'd like to get at least 2 to 3 more hours in before I do a first impressions, which I know will be late, but you know what? It is what it is. I didn't get like early copies. I got it when everybody else got it, and I feel like 6 hours of content is enough to make an impression upon.
Yeah.
So I feel like less would be unfair.
And I'm not going to be doing any videos because I'm getting ready to do my first craft fair, which I might do a post craft fair video for all the nerdy crafters out there.
I think you should make
thoughts.
I think you should make a during craft fair video and post it from your phone.
My phone is crap.
It's okay.
Okay.
Our videos are crap anyway.
We'll see.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Be happy.